of you know me, but for those that don't, I'm PsychicGavin. So I'm Gavin. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a physical trance medium. I do events. I work both in the paranormal and for mediumship demonstrations with a vast array of clients all around the world that I help in many different ways. I'm a spirit artist. I'm an exorcist, Reiki master, Seichem master, Shamanic and spiritual healer, and that also moves into psychic surgery, helping people with health issues. I know and I've studied Ayurveda. I also know a lot about chakra and aura healing, cord cutting, soul retrieval, past life regression, which I'm qualified in hypnosis. So I can do past life regression and try and treat any post-traumatic stress, or hypnosis can actually work for a lot of people in a lot of different ways, to try and clear things or get them to overcome things from the past. But in addition, I've got extensive qualifications with astral projection, remote viewing, dowsing, numerology, soulmates, twin flames, animal Reiki, animal spirit totems, moonology, scrying, channeling, tarot, advanced tarot, pineal gland activation, psychic mediumship development, meditation teaching, dragons and unicorn energies, and telekinesis, demonology, hoodoo. And I've got a great passion for working with spirit. I'm lucky being a physical trance medium. Well, sometimes I need to listen back in order to know what they've actually given me, which can mean I've not just lost an hour of my life in a trance, but I've lost another hour listening back. So it's a double whammy, so to speak, or everyone else knows something before I do. But unfortunately, I enjoy what I do, helping people. And it's not always easy, I would have said, for any medium. There always needs to be an exchange of energy, but we're drawn to helping people. So it has to be an exchange of energy. So I know some people out there would say, no, you should be giving all the readings free, if it's of spiritual nature. Oh, well, will you go to work and say, hello, boss, today I'm working for free? No, it's about exchange of energies, looking after one another. So yes, there's got to be a limit in order to help people. Yes, there needs to be exchange of energies, but where does that end on what you can charge, what you charge people? Well, with the way, like I'd said, the whole world really is going at the moment, everything's getting more expensive, with interest rates, etc., going up, and that could technically cause a bit of a problem. There's no way I'm going to stop doing what I do and helping people, but then that causes a bit of a problem because we also don't want to put prices up stupidly. Yeah, I've got a wide knowledge to do with spiritualism, spirituality, and spirit in general, and I like to pass that on, like to help others develop on their journey and their path, so that they can also help more people. Bringing balance back to the earth. What do I mean by bringing balance back to the earth? So there's a lot of people that are probably feeling a bit stuck in a hole at the moment, like I said, with everything going up. Interest rates. Let alone people will see if they have got a mortgage and it's on variable, how it's probably trebled, if not more. In the last 18 months, perhaps even in the last 12 months. So that doesn't just have a knock on them for the mortgage. All of these companies we get electric or whatever and everything from, they'll have borrowings. So everything else goes up in line with it. There's no escaping it. Or is there? Are we led to believe there's no escaping of it? Illusions. There's always illusions around. So our mind sees things. And it doesn't mean there's always necessarily easy answers for getting change. In some ways, I guess Spirit has given me now, we'd be hypocrites without making some sort of change for the advice we give. So moving forward, there's got to be some change. They keep giving, and I keep telling people they've got to find freedom. I can now see freedom definitely isn't in bricks and mortar. There was something I read actually this week, which was 100 years' time. You might love a house. We've left it to family. So it's still going to be in the family in 100 years. You're nearly but forgotten. Headstone at best. So how can a property leave any legacy for any good that you've done? So in some ways that makes an easy choice of bollocks to a property. Or at least in the form that we've got it today. So unfortunately, I wasn't always a medium. But often the way things are structured with society, there might be money put away, but how easy is it actually to get to your money? Many people put it in pensions or things like that. Property, money in a property. How do you release it? You're normally caught in because you're doing an exchange then for something else, and that's going through a solicitor, so you're buying, getting rid of one and buying something else. That's still not really releasing anything. A lot, I need to be careful what I say here, but with the pandemic the way it was, no matter on what side of a fence or anything you're on, it would create fear. Interest rates going up, they can create fear for a lot of people. People always worry about money. But joy and happiness don't really come from money, and the money is all going, no matter which way you look at it, towards certain parties that I would have said, got to be careful here. What's for all the world? Power over the world. Power over the people. They might say the interest rates need to go up and to recoup whatever they've spent on in the past. Let's word it that way. But then there were grants and things given, which then it don't tie up. Okay, so but that's enough said on that part. So everything's about society, and society is implanted on most of us. Got to get a good job. How does that help us ascend? Don't greatly. I know plenty of people that are quite capable of working with spirit. There's only one thing that's holding them back. That is society and the fear of money. What's money? Is there any gold left in America? Most money is based on the dollar. So therefore, if there's no gold left in America, it's pieces of paper. And that's all it is. Basically, we're living our lives around. How are we ascending in that? So, I want to help people still. I'm not changing that. Marie doesn't want me to change that. But we want freedom. Now, how do we go about getting the freedom? Well, fuck me, that's not easy, excuse the language. But we think we might have found a way, but it's not that pleasant. So like I said, I haven't always been a medium. I was in financial services. So there is money in the property. But now you try and release money from a property. Furniture and everything else. We've got animals. We've got children. So now in order for that to happen, and there not being a reinvestment of funds on a exchange and completion, which are normally on the same dates, we've got to think outside the box. So temporarily, got to do something that isn't particularly nice. It won't keep us apart. I know it won't. Well, Marie's got to get a house of her own on a rented basis. But we've got to see joy in that. Because ultimately what we want then is that we're in a position to be able to sell the house to take money from it. Which then we don't need necessarily a house in the long run, because children are getting older, and definitely within a couple of years we can then definitely be free, if not before that, and be where we want, when we want, stay as long as we want, be like a Nordic traveller, or so to speak, a Native American. But then we're free. But before that, it's going to be tough to get to that position. But I've always achieved everything I've put my mind to in the past. And there's no way that we're not going to be together. So to do what we need to do then he's stuck, because of contracts, on a renting process. So what I want to do is get the freedom so we can do that. Something large enough that we can do that. So although for a period we won't be living together, we'll spend time together. See, I can stay with her a night or two, and she can come with me with a camper, which is what I want to buy. And a bigger camper than some of you might have seen, the little one that we've had. But see, we can work it out that way, because we know we'll come back together. But to do that, we've got to be on our own to be able to achieve that to start with. Especially with, well, between us, we've got 8 children. 2 of them are older. They've grown up, moved, already gone. So the content in a house is astronomical with that many children. So decluttering, for a start, having the house in a position to be sold, can't be done with all of us living in one roof anyway. So it's got to be separated kind of before we can even do that and achieve what we wanted. And then get the camper. It's not going to be like a house sale and completion. It's, we might know what we want, or I want, but got to release the capital first to be able to get that and get the freedom. Now, knowing that we'll achieve that feels fantastic. And I guess with the mediumship that I'm, the connections with spirit that I've always got, it's quite easy for me to try and keep a clear mind. But that's kept me awake a bit at night. Spirit won't let me think of the what's and the ifs, which Marie will. We can't change people, they do. You get the what's and ifs. So there's been a few tears, but there's been laughter as well. And definitely thoughts of the future. And that can keep us going. Because what will be achievable at the end of the day will be freedom. So won't be the bills on the house to pay that we're caught in. Everyone's caught into. Is it the way it's meant to be? So yes, I'm a medium for those of you that, like I said with the introduction, we don't know quite how it's all going to pan out. But we're going to record it to show our experience of how we're going to get there. And what it's going to be like. So it could be showing a path to freedom, as well as kind of showing a daily life, but it won't be on a daily basis. I haven't got enough hours in the day. But definitely with updated weekly of how it's going, what we're doing. But you can, for those that then have given permission for me to share parts of the mediumship or work that I've been doing each week, and no week's the same. But to show really behind the scenes the purpose of why I've got to do this, you need to understand the help that we give. See, I strongly believe now what Spirit give me, one voice can change the world. You can't change it for everyone. But if I help one person, they can help 10 with just what they've remembered. They help another 10, another 10. We can't allow anything to stop that, really. As well, fortunate, I love doing that. So I say to everyone, you've got to love what you do. But I say, freedom of speech and whatever else, if we keep going down this path, there's going to be none. Money. How many times can you spend cash now? We've had a day out today. One place we could use cash. Card. If I'm telling people they've got to see the bigger picture, then I've got to show that I can too. We've been on this earth, that's arguable, for thousands, if not millions of years. How many true real buildings are the homes left that aren't just a few hundred years old? Homes are movable and changeable. What kills people? A lot of that, natural disasters. Why do natural disasters kill people? Because they're stuck with their bricks and mortar. They know there's a volcano about to go. They stay there, it's their home. Why is the home not movable? Why can you not be in certain areas when then you can feed from what's in those areas at those particular times? So they might refer to it in a negative term as hunter-gatherers in the past. Were they not more wise? Were they not more free? Did they not have more enjoyment? What do you enjoy doing and what don't you like doing? Because you need to get rid of from your list what you don't like doing. So even doing what we're doing, I wouldn't have said that it'd lead to total freedom. Because even for the camper and moving around, it might be run by horses and in horsepower, but a horse you've got to feed, but a camper we've still got to feed, and has with fuel. And there's nothing fair about fuel. Most that ends up in others' pockets. It's not necessarily the fuel company. For that we can handle and be able to have home where ultimately we could choose for it to be and see so many of you. We've got so many friends that we've been able to make for the work we do. So there's no way we can stop that. So yes, things have got to change. Don't know fully how everything will work out. Prior to my portraits alone, how am I going to put those in a camper? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 15, 20 files. So you can see it can't just be out of one into another without a bit of difficulty traversing. So I don't know how it's all going to work out, but our hearts will always be together, and it will work. But we don't know the hows. We need to know the hows. I trust enough to give exactly what Spirit give me for everyone else, and pushing us towards it, and saying things are going to get worse interest rate wise. I've got to trust. And I can't even say if we get there. I absolutely know in my heart when we get there. It's going to be beautiful and perfect. And Maria will always be dreading I don't like the journeys. Well, good job then we can stay for longer. If we want to be by the beach, we can be by the beach. If we want to be in the countryside by the mountains, we can be by the mountains. That's peace. How do you get the connection? From teaching nature. Why do not more people enjoy it? We're putting cities away from it all as well. More people live inland and away from everything like that than by the coast or by what truly is nature. So if we can aspire and encourage others and really demonstrate there always is hope and to live by hope and faith, then what better way? But it doesn't mean there isn't going to be a struggle to do that. But at least it's our struggle rather than a struggle that we're forced into. Come on, it doesn't matter, come on. So it's not going to be easy, and you might be looking a bit. But other people manage not living together, don't they? Periods.
Yeah.
And we know we love each other.
Yeah, it's a leap of faith, isn't it? That's for sure.
With a lot of knowing. But it doesn't mean there aren't emotions as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because we're still human at the end of the day as well. But if we can show we can do it, hopefully others will. Try fear what can bring you happiness. And you know what you enjoy and you know what you don't enjoy. That's where the focus has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kiss a kiss. Beautiful. So we are going to record and keep a record of it. Everything's digital nowadays. I can't get bloody videos of it. There won't be the space. So, you know, for sure, can you try and go and rent a property with a bloody German Shepherd? So, she'll give me company. She'll have a whale of a time and a whale of a life. Doing what she's meant to do. Doing what we're meant to do.
Keep you safe as
Interacting
well.
more in person. Even more of you. So can you tell your neighbour, Alison, to shift his car at least once every 2 months? Just don't tell Aidan that I'm plugging into your electric. No.
Plug into the neighbours.
It can open doors. Could have worked as well. Marie pointed that one out. So I knew, the only bit I know really was how I wanted to part. So I've still got somewhere I can actually get into bed without having to make a bed initially. Somewhere I can sit, still do what I do with all of you and what I love. Cook, eat, and clean. If all goes well, narrowed it down to one particular one that I really like, but if that doesn't work, if that doesn't happen to be there at the perfect time, there will be something that there are other options. Some might say that well, if you're going with a camper, it's just going to depreciate. True, if you keep it, keep it. But as long as you can look at after one and you're swapping it not too long time between. Anyone who wants to have a look at a difference between one that's done 3,500 miles, one that's done 17.5 or 36.5. Might have only be a couple of years difference. There's not much difference in the price. You can't rent anything for the price that it'll depreciate as long as you ain't changing it regularly. I'm only talking depreciation here, not servicing and running costs.
Yeah, but if you look at some campers, they've done thousands and thousands of miles, and they're still going. They look good.
That's very much true. But then when you do get that final problem, to get the same on a modern standard, you've got a big chunk to pay. So if you leave it too long, you'd have a big chunk. So it's important to keep the kids happy. We think it's going to give the youngest, definitely, that we're homeschooling as well, a great way of life of him believing in himself, because you've seen where we believed.
Yeah. We'll just have to see you on Zoom.
Yeah. If we cut you off the Zoom early, it's because the video's going on. So you're just going to make laughter out of everything. Enjoy. It's the only way to keep. So yes, certain bits will have to change. But that's one thing with what I do. I can work anywhere. So why don't I? Why don't we? It'd be stupid not to. It's really a can't fail. It's just a bloody pain in the ass organising it to be able to happen. Sometimes making no decision at all is as bad as making a hasty decision.
Yeah.
Especially if your heart's calling. More people should do what they want. The amount of times I've seen it now where I've given people readings. Said you need to get time together. No, they need to work to blah, blah, blah for retirement. Doesn't come. And it's too late. So whatever it is anyone wants, don't leave it till too late. So if you wanted to see how it all goes, keep tuning in, keep watching. Lots of love, everyone.